Margot Robbie has become one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, but the rare photos from before her fame and the untold stories from her journey reveal a side of her that most fans have never seen. These images show a young woman from Australia who worked harder than anyone could imagine to get where she is today. Stay with this video till the very end, because what these rare photos reveal about her sacrifices, struggles, and determination will give you a completely new appreciation for her success. Margot did not grow up in the glamorous world of movies and red carpets. She was raised on a farm in Australia by a single mother who worked multiple jobs to support her family. In rare early photos, you would see a young girl surrounded by the beauty of rural Australia, far from the bright lights of Hollywood. She grew up helping with chores, spending time outdoors, and learning the value of hard work from a very young age. Her childhood was not easy, but it taught her resilience that would serve her for the rest of her life. As a teenager, Margot knew she wanted to act. She did not have industry connections or a clear path to success. She just had a dream and the willingness to work for it. She moved to Melbourne to pursue acting, taking whatever roles she could get. Rare photos from this time would show her at auditions, working odd jobs to pay rent and spending long hours studying scripts and practicing her craft. She was not an overnight success. She was a young woman grinding, facing rejection, and refusing to give up. Her first big break came with a role on an Australian soap opera. It was not glamorous, but it was work. For years, she appeared on the show, building her skills and gaining experience. Behind-the-scenes photos from this period would show someone learning on the job, working long days on set, and slowly becoming a professional actor. She was not famous yet, but she was laying the foundation for everything that would come later. The decision to move to America was one of the biggest risks of her life. She left everything familiar behind and moved to Los Angeles with just a few suitcases and a lot of hope. Rare photos from her early days in LA would show someone living in a small apartment, going to countless auditions, and facing the harsh reality that thousands of talented actors come to Hollywood every year and most never make it. She was unknown, unconnected, and competing against people who had been in the industry their whole lives. What most people do not know is how many rejections she faced. There were roles she desperately wanted but did not get. There were auditions where she gave everything and still heard no. There were moments when money was tight and the future looked uncertain. Private photos from this time would show exhaustion, doubt, and the loneliness of being far from home while chasing a dream that might never come true. But she kept going. Her breakthrough role changed everything. When she landed a part in a major film, suddenly Hollywood started paying attention. But even that success came with challenges. She had to prove she was more than just a pretty face. She had to show range, depth, and commitment to her craft. Behind-the-scenes photos from her early major films would show someone working incredibly hard, taking risks, and pushing herself to deliver performances that would be impossible to ignore. As her fame grew, so did the pressure. Every role was scrutinized. Every public appearance was analyzed. Every part of her life became public property. Rare photos from this period would show someone navigating sudden fame while trying to stay grounded. She dealt with invasive media attention, constant judgment about her appearance, and the challenge of maintaining privacy in a world that wanted to know everything about her. What rare photos also reveal is how much she values real relationships. Despite fame, she has stayed close to her family and old friends. There would be private images of her back home in Australia, surrounded by people who knew her before Hollywood, just being herself without the pressure of being a star. These connections kept her grounded and reminded her of who she was before the world knew her name. Margot has also used her success to create opportunities for others. She started her own production company, not just to make movies, but to tell stories that matter and to create roles for women that go beyond stereotypes. Behind-the-scenes photos from production meetings would show someone fully engaged, making creative decisions, and building a career that has depth and purpose beyond just acting. The rarest and most powerful photos of Margot are the ones that show her when she is not performing. Images of her laughing with crew members between takes, sitting quietly with a book, or just existing without the pressure to be Margot Robbie the movie star. These moments show the real person behind the fame, someone who is talented, hardworking, humble, and still connected to the girl from the Australian farm who just wanted to tell stories. If you loved learning the real story behind Margot Robbie's rare photos and want more honest looks at your favorite stars, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Like this video, share it with someone who loves her work, and tell us in the comments which part of her untold story inspired you the most.